Hey, welcome to Country Girl. Today I'm going to try and vlog a little bit while I'm driving. It's just these last couple of weeks have been really busy for me. I haven't been home very much, and this is just a little more convenient for me to try and fit this in since I usually have a 30-minute drive to town. But I have been requested for me to go over my weight loss that I had experienced a couple of years ago, where I had lost like 90 pounds. So I just thought this would be a good time to do that. I hope this turns out okay. Even though it's more convenient and easy for me to record while I'm driving, I do realize that there is road noise and stuff like that. So I hope that won't be too much of a distraction. Of course, hitting bumps and making my camera move and all that stuff. It is early this morning, so I probably look like I'm tired, which I am, but I have been getting a little bit better sleep than I have been. But anyway, with that being said, I just thought that I would go ahead and record this for y'all. And on this video, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tell you what I did and what worked for me. I mean, that's all I really can do. Everything all goes back to just eating healthy and exercising. I mean, I think that when people are trying to lose weight, we're all out there looking for some kind of miracle pill or miracle plan that's going to be invented and that we'll eventually get access to. And honestly, it's basically just doing what the doctors tell you to do. Walking is the best exercise you can do. That's what I've always started out with. I've lost weight probably 2 or 3 times. When I say weight, I mean like a pretty decent amount of weight in my lifetime. The first time I did it, I actually was taking some metabolism pills, and I lost like 42 pounds. And it gave me energy and everything, but it didn't make me like jittery or nervous. And at that time, I was not diagnosed with ADD, and I often wonder if maybe the product that was in that was, I can't even think of what it is right now. I think they banned it, that's why they don't have it anymore. But I just wonder if that actually like targeted my ADD symptoms, and that's what helped me to lose weight on that, because that did work. It just, I don't know, it just helped me to focus, and I was able to create a plan and stick with it. So that was the first time I lost weight, and that was right before I got married. Then after I got married, I kind of, we were wanting to have children, and I didn't want to be taking any kind of medicines or anything like that. So I quit taking that, and then, once I got pregnant and everything, after having my kids pretty much back to back, I gained like 80 pounds. So when Caitlin was probably about 1 year old, I just decided I wanted to lose weight again, because I wanted to be able to keep up and play with my children. Because I had a toddler and a newborn, and it was just rough. So I joined Weight Watchers. And Weight Watchers, I don't really know a lot about it today, because that's been, almost 12 years ago since I was on it. But I can tell you that I had a great experience with Weight Watchers. I think that Weight Watchers, and they work. I mean, that's why they're still around. I mean, they're just like, I haven't done my research to tell you they're one of the oldest weight loss programs there is, so I don't really know about that, but I know they've been around for a very long time, and there's a reason for it. I think sometimes it's just hard for some people to wrap their mind around what they need to do to get started, and it can be very overwhelming. And I think that Weight Watchers is very good about breaking it down to people in another way, so that they can see it from a different angle. And when they do, it kind of simplifies things for them, and it helps them to be able to keep up with it. It also does require a little bit of planning, and so I think that helps to kind of like get people kind of like to reprogram your mind into knowing that anytime you do anything like this, when you're doing a lifestyle change, you've got to plan. I mean, it's all about planning, and that's where I learned that was from Weight Watchers. And it's just you you set yourself up for failure when you don't. And that's one of the hardest things that I struggle with, because I'm the world's worst planner. I have all these little planners. I write down notes, thousands of notes of things I need to do, try and keep myself on track and in order. But when it comes right down to it, I struggle with that. And I know that if I could plan my meals and look ahead and do things, it would be a lot easier for me to do this. But, another thing that Weight Watchers is good for is, and I'm not being, I'm not promoting like Weight Watchers. I'm just telling you what it did for me and what my thoughts are on it. But anyway, they, tell you that you're not on a diet, you're on a lifestyle change. And that's exactly what it is. Diets are temporary. You're going to temporarily lose weight. No, when you lose weight, you want it to be gone forever. So, it is a lifestyle change. It's a commitment. It's something that you're going to have to be able to say, I can do this for the rest of my life. And when you go on these little fad diets and things like that, it's not things you can do for the rest of your life. It's just not reasonable. You can't deprive yourself every day for the rest of your life on things that you love and enjoy and think that that's going to work, because you're setting yourself up for failure. Because what's going to happen is, if you deprive yourself long enough, you're going to cave at some point. And when you cave, you're going to binge and just go crazy. And I know, because I've been there and done that. So, you want to make sure that whatever you're doing, that you're able to make the necessary changes in your diet that's going to allow you to still be able to enjoy the foods and things you love. It's not going to interfere with you getting together with family and friends and just living your life in general. So, that being said, whenever I go onto a weight loss program, I have to have my mindset right. And what I mean by that is, I know when I'm overweight. I know when I need to lose weight. I know when I'm gaining. I don't have to have people tell me that. I don't need, people say, you need to lose weight or you need to go on a diet. We know that. I have a mirror. But you just have to be in your right mindset. And it's sometimes different times of our lives we're just not, because of the things going on in it. But I do believe that it is mental. It is in our mind, and you have to be strong in your mind at the time that you make that determination that you're going to do this and you're going to start right now. And once you get to that place and it's right time for you, stick with it. If you can, the first 3 weeks of any lifestyle change when it comes to being healthier and eating healthier is the absolute hardest. I will tell you, you will be hungry quite a lot. But if you can make it through those first 3 weeks, after that you will realize that it starts to get easier and easier. Whenever I would, get to that point, it's like after I got through that first hurdle, I would say, I don't want to say anything is easy, but it got easy to me. It was not hard for me to not do things and not eat things that I shouldn't do or eat. I would be walking or something and, somebody would say, hey, you want to go to Wendy's and grab a fry? I'm like, are you crazy? I'm not eating that, and it wouldn't be hard for me to do that. Whereas before, I'd be like, sure, or I would really have to struggle with having to say no, and I'd sit there and think about that fry the whole time, and I didn't get it. So, it will change how you think, and as you see your weight coming off, that is incentive. Every time I did a weigh-in in Weight Watchers once a week. There were lots of weeks that I was scared to get on that scale because I was like, I just know it's going to be 2 pounds heavier. And it wasn't. I would be surprised sometimes and have actually lost weight when I thought I had gained weight. And, I was feeling all down and out. And then, when I get on that scale and realize that I had lost a pound or two or even half a pound, it would give me incentive and I'd be like, oh, great. I am doing good. I'm going to keep at it. And so, don't let your emotions put you in a hole either, because when you get down on yourself and you put yourself down, it just makes you have that I don't care mentality. I'm just going to sit around and eat. I've already messed up today anyway. And one good thing too, another good thing about Weight Watchers is that there's different ways you can do it. I personally found that it helped me better when I was attending group meetings. And I know that's not for everybody, but I think the reason why I like that so much is because when you get in these discussions, other people can give you information and ideas.
and goals and incentives and things like that. It could be recipes, it could be their way they think about things. It could just be tips and tricks that help them out. And it was just nice for me to be able to sit there and share what I had and also listen to what other people had for me. And, one of the things that I feel like is also something that really makes a big difference is, I know a lot of times, in the day, you may feel like you mess up. Just say you get to supper time and you overeat at supper. And you went way past what your calories are for the day or whatever it is you're doing. It's so easy for people to get down and say, well, I've done blue today, so I'm just going to go ahead and enjoy myself for the rest of the night, grab this bag of chips or this bag of ice cream or whatever it is, and just finish it off. I'll start over tomorrow. Don't start over tomorrow. Start over right that second. That's the key, is don't say, I'll do it tomorrow. What is tomorrow? Why not right this second? And that's how you need to do things. And it's like, with, just say, for instance, when I was on their points program, I don't know how they do it now, but I was on a points program. I had so many points I could eat in a day. And if I used up all my points by supper time, I would be like, well, I went overboard. But I know that I'm going to be hungry later on tonight because I have not had supper. So I'm going to eat my supper. And I know it's going to still continue to throw me over in my points, but I'm going to try and just eat until I'm satisfied and try and eat a healthier supper. And then after that, I won't eat any more for the day. Because you have to do things like that. If I would have said like at mid-afternoon, well, I'm going to start over right now and I'm just not going to eat anymore for the rest of the night and until tomorrow because I've done screwed up and I got to start now, I would probably end up by 10 o'clock at night in there with a big huge pack of cookies and a glass of milk. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of have to use your common sense. I was starting over as far as in my mind, okay, I'm gonna put a stop to this overeating right this second. But I do realize at the same time I am going to be hungry later and I am going to need something to eat for supper. I'm just going to be sensible about it. So, like I said, you kind of have to use your common sense, but you get to learn little things and tips and tricks like that. And, the last time that I decided that I wanted to lose weight, I had went many years in between my weight loss at Weight Watchers and losing it a couple years ago. And what had happened is I'm one of these people, if I'm on something and I stick to it and I stay with it, I can do it. But if I ever let myself slide long enough to get off of that habit and that lifestyle change, it is no telling how long it's going to take me to get my thoughts and my mental state right in order to go back and do this again. And I ended up gaining, oh my gosh, so much weight. I don't even really know how much. I don't even know. I have to do the math in my head. I think I ended up getting up to like 265 was my highest. And I had just gotten to the point where, getting out of that cycle and everything, getting out of all those things that I was doing. And I don't even know really what it was that triggered me to stop. Unless it was, I'm going to take a break for the holidays. Maybe I had that crazy thought in my mind. And I'll start back after the first of the year. It just never did. And it just escalated from there. I don't know. But anyway, I just got to the point where I just got tired of I hated shopping. I never could find anything that I ever felt satisfied in when I did shop. I would wear my clothes that had holes in them because I hated shopping so much. It was just, a torture for me to have to go into a store and try things on because I felt like even if they fit, I'll never feel like I look good in them. But I had to wear things and I had to have clothes for work, and so I felt like I never felt attractive for me. My husband, I have a great husband when it comes to that. He's always made me feel like I was the most beautiful thing in the world to him, no matter how big I've ever gotten. But I have to feel good for me, and I never felt good for me when I was that big. And, in addition, I made another comment on another vlog that I was talking about that I felt like that my kids at the same time were also suffering from my weight problem because I didn't keep the Weight Watchers weight off but maybe a year or two, if that. And so really, I was still a lot overweight after my kids were still young and active. I mean, so I had a little bit of time that I could keep up with them, but it wasn't much. And it wasn't anything that Weight Watchers did. I got off of it. It was my decision to stop. And so I just felt like, I need to do this. And I don't know really what, it's just something in my mind just triggered. And so I did it. And, I had mentioned before that every time I've ever been on a weight loss program or a weight loss type thing, I say program, but, a lifestyle change or whatever, it seems like I always would get the incentive in the spring, right around May. And I think it's just because when the weather warms up and everything, you feel a little bit more lively. You want to be outside more. It just makes you want to be more active. That's another thing too. When I was overweight, I hated summertime. I absolutely hated summer because it was just a miserable time for me. Because I was so overweight, being outside and sweating, and it was just miserable. And it wasn't like I could be out and do things. I would take my girls swimming because I wasn't going to deprive them, but I would sit underneath the shade in my clothes in the hot 90-some degree weather, in a chair reading a book or something while they played in the pool because I wasn't about to put a bathing suit on and get in that water. And there was so many times that I would look at them in the water playing and think, gosh, that water looks like it feels so good. And, so I just, summertime wasn't good because I hated being outside. And when it's summertime, you want to be outside. And that's just how it is. And I can actually say that my thoughts, since I had lost weight about the seasons, changed a little bit. Fall is still my favorite season of all time and probably will always be. But I don't dread and hate summer. I actually look forward to it. My boss man, I've mentioned before, every year he takes us on a trip somewhere in the summer. And for the first few years, I didn't go, mainly because they had always planned it on my daughter, where we would be gone on my daughter's birthday. And I was not going to be gone on my daughter's birthday. But aside from that, it was still a little bit of a relief to me because it was like, I don't want to go anywhere where I got to put on a bathing suit or I have to be in a miserable heat and not be able to put on a bathing suit and be around people I work with. So, going on these last few years, going on these trips has been a lot more fun for me. And I try and keep that in my mind as incentive too, is that I think about all the things that I couldn't do and I can do now, or that I want to do. And your life is so much more fun. It really is. And it takes buckling down and doing it to get it right. But to let you know what I did this last time, I had already been through Weight Watchers and I already kind of knew how that went. And I do think that maybe having that in the past may have contributed to me knowing some things on how to do things this time around. But I decided that I wasn't going to go through that program again this time. I was just going to try and do it on my own. So what I had done was I had actually that's when I started my Twitter account. I had never really gotten into Twitter or anything before. But I went out there and I wasn't really doing it as a social thing, media thing, as much as it was an incentive thing for me. I started following all of these healthy, women's health and just, different. So there were a lot of people out there that would put inspirational messages about weight loss or eating healthy or exercise and things like that. So I would try and find all of these people out there that was promoting all of this, healthy eating, all of this stuff, and I would follow them. And throughout the day, I would scroll through my Twitter news feed and just reading those or seeing pictures or, reading, inspirational messages, things like that. You can do it. You've got this, things like that. It really helped me keep me on track because I could just scroll through there at any time of the day and there was always new stuff constantly popping up. Even, like I said, recipes and stuff, of healthy things you could eat. And so that was one of the things that kind of helped me. And plus, I would read, some of these would actually be like links to magazine articles and stuff. And so I would start reading this stuff. And and I don't know exactly how I got the app, but I had heard about the Fitbit app. I did not choose that one because I think I started it and I just didn't like it. It wasn't for me. I know a lot of people use that app. It's very popular, and I have a Fitbit. But as far as like logging my meals and stuff, I had found another app that I liked better, and it was My Diet Coach. It was just a little more cartoonish and cute to me. You get a little avatar person, and you should go check it out. It's a free app. I think they have they've changed it a little bit now, where I think you can pay monthly to get more added things, but you don't have to. And I don't have the added stuff. It still worked out for me. But you can log your food every day. You have goals. It has a graph on there that shows you where you've been, where you're at. You log your weight. It's got a scanner, so if you have a box, say of like cereal bars, and you want to eat one of those, you don't have to really search it, look it up. If it's got a barcode on that box, you can just take your cell phone and scan that barcode, and it'll automatically upload the one serving or that bar for that day on that, whatever day you're on. So you have to really go in there and look at it instead of me having to sit here and try and tell you about everything it has. But it's got so many useful tools to help you to keep track of what you're eating every day. And that's another thing. I know people don't like to have to write stuff down. I don't want to write stuff down to keep up with what I'm eating and this and that. That's a hassle. But technically, it really doesn't take you but a few seconds to do it. And keeping up with what you're eating is key and essential to your weight loss, because you don't know what you're putting in your body. You're not going to know what you got left for the day, or if you're overeating or undereating, or what you're doing. So it's really key and important for you to do that. And so that app was just a really good tool that I used to help me. And I started my calories out through research. I looked to see what kind of calories was suitable for my weight at that time per day. And of course, as you lose weight, your calorie intake per day is going to go down. But I did Google that. I think I found something on WebMD or Mayo Clinic or something like that gave me the numbers that I needed. They have these little calculator things you put in your age, your height, weight, and all that. And so as long as you stay within those calorie range for the day, and it does do a countdown for you, so you know how much you've got left as you're eating. But I did do that. In addition, I had started out, when I was logging my meals, I started out walking. That was the only exercise that I did starting out, and then I just built up a little. When I started feeling better and some weight started coming off, I thought, well, I'm going to add this. So, I would add a little bit of step aerobics, and I did all of my stuff at home. I had me a step that I would use, and a video, and I also used YouTube videos for stepping. And Jenny Ford is someone that I love to watch. She does lots of good step videos. And I would do mine after supper at night. I'm not a morning person, so I can't get up more in the morning and exercise. And after I get off of work, I've got too much going on with supper and family and errands and 30-minute drive and getting home, really late. So I couldn't do that right after I got off of work. Plus, when I'm getting off of work, I'm too hungry. I can't exercise when I'm hungry. And I know I could eat like a little bar or something, protein bar, but that just didn't work for me. I would actually eat my supper first, and then while I was cleaning up, because you don't want to just jump right into exercise as soon as you get up to the table. So I would go ahead and clean up my, the kitchen and the dishes, and maybe put a load of laundry in, wash my face, do some other things. And then probably around 8 o'clock, I would start to do my exercise for the night. And that was good for me, because I'm one of these people, when I'm sitting down eating, I'm sitting down watching TV, or I'm sitting down resting or relaxing, or whatever it is you do from the hours of like 7 to 11 at night, that's when I would have the hardest time controlling my overeating, because I would just want to snack and eat everything in the world. So I substituted that time with exercise time. And in the summertime, it was good because, it stays light till 9 o'clock at night. And so I would be able to walk, and it would still be light outside. And, then when it got to be wintertime, luckily I had a treadmill that I could use, and I did transfer that indoors And then at the same time, you know, I would do step videos and stuff like that in my living room. But the point is that I was using my normal sitting around eating time for exercise time. And by the time I got done exercising and, you know, would take a shower and brush my teeth, it'd be ready for bed. And so, or time for bed. And so I would just go to bed. And that really worked for me. And after I did that, like I said, you know, I built myself up with the exercise part. But I think I ended up dropping like 20 pounds in the first month, and that just shocked me. But I was very overweight, and when the higher in your weight you are, the faster you're going to lose it in the beginning. Because after that first 20 pounds, my average was somewhere around 5 to 7 pounds a month, and then it went down. You know, it slowed down. The lower I got, the slower it got. And I did eventually end up getting down. I did end up losing like 89 pounds, and it felt really good. I had about maybe 30 more pounds that I wanted to lose, and it was during that time that I got diagnosed with breast cancer, and that just really threw everything, you know, out the door for me, because I did exercise all the way up until I had my double mastectomy, but then after that I had to start chemo and radiation right away. And if anybody's ever been on that, you know, you just can't. I mean, they tell you you can exercise and it's good to exercise and you should at least try and walk or do something, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't. I think if you can, go for it. I couldn't. I think out of that whole entire time, I may have just walked once or twice. I couldn't. So once I got done with my therapy or my treatment and everything, I was so gung-ho to get back into it. But like I said, I'm one of these people, for me anyway, I have a hard time once I break a habit. It takes me a long time to reform that habit. And I did well. I started out going to the Y. They had a program for cancer patients to try and get themselves back into a healthy living lifestyle once they finished their treatment and everything. I got on that. I actually joined the Y. I joined it with my sister. We're still members. And we did that for quite a while. And I did do more than I had been, but my goal was to build myself up to where I was working out at least 5 to 6 days a week. I never got there. I was dragging my feet a little bit because mentally I think I still wasn't quite where I needed to be. And then, you know, of course I had my reconstruction surgery in December, and I was worried, you know, this is something else that's going to put me back down, because I knew it was going to be like 8 weeks before I could work out again. It seemed like every time I'd have a surgery or something, I just felt like I was being knocked back down. And then, you know, here lately, I've had a lot of issues with joint pain. And I'm in the process right now of getting this checked out. Right now, my doctor thinks I've got rheumatoid arthritis. I'm not quite so sure that that's what I have. So, like I said, I'm still in the process. I've got test results out there I haven't had gone over with me yet, because this is still new in the process of trying to determine what's going on. But let's just say my joint pain is so severe that exercising is very hard for me, even walking. I can walk, and I still do walk, but the next day I pay for it. So I've picked up about 20 pounds of the 89 that I've lost, and that bothers me. And I'm still not going to give up. I'm still going to continue to try and eat healthier. Every day I wake up, it's a new day. And every day, I'm going to have the mentality that, I'm going to try my best today to do whatever it is I can to stay in this spot, and to try and not just stay where I'm at and not get heavier, but to actually reduce my weight, because I still have about 40 to 50 pounds that I want to lose. Maybe not quite that much, it just depends. I know as you get older and your body changes, you don't need to be a little you can actually carry a little bit more weight than before, and I've always been able to carry more weight for my size. I think when I was 265, if people would have known that at the time, they would have been shocked. They would have never thought that I weighed that much. Because I do carry my weight fairly well. Anyway, with that being said, I'm in the struggle stage right now. So, and I've been there. I've lost weight. I've gained weight. I know what it's all about. I've had experience with it, but I know that I can do this. It's just going to take me getting my joint pain under control and getting my mentality right. And when you feel bad for so long and then you start feeling good again, that's incentive right there. So when I get rid of this joint pain, I'm gonna feel so good. Oh my gosh. that's going to be a booster for me to get my butt out there and just get it done. But I hope that I've been able to give you some useful information to help you. My suggestion would be, if you're one of these people that does need a little bit of extra help, I would say to join Weight Watchers or something like that. And I know that Weight Watchers does charge. When I was doing it, I think I may have paid like $30 a month. I don't remember. I don't know what it costs now. A lot of people say eating healthy and everything is expensive. It doesn't have to be. I think if you really just use your common sense and how you prepare your meals and you plan things, you'll realize you're going to be eating less food. And junk food's expensive. And you're going to be eating better food, or food that's better for you. So don't fall into that false information that eating healthy and everything is more expensive. It's not. It's just more convenient to go to a drive-through window and order off the dollar menu. But you know, if you need help, use resources. If you've got smartphones, if you've got computers and things like that, you know, get a Twitter account. Start following people that put stuff out there like I did. You know, you would be surprised how reading things that other people do and reading stuff can just give you that little extra boost of confidence to get you over a hump that you might be dealing with. Use these fitness apps. So many people have lost so much weight on these things. You use tools out there that you need to help you. I have got to wrap this up because I'm at the doctor and I'm actually late. So anyway, I just wanted to share my weight loss information with you. And like I said, I hope I was able to give you some useful information. If you do start something new and you're able to lose weight, or you have done this, or you know you're where you want to be and you've been successful, leave it in the comments below, because you know, not only do I read your comments, but other people who also comment out there and watch my videos read your comments too, and it may help other people, give them some ideas on things they can do. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you all have a great day, and thank you so much for watching. I will see you soon. Bye.